So I'd really rather not have any more questions about, is it okay to lose this game? It's never okay to lose a game.
It's Division I football! It's the Big 12! It ain't intramurals! Go play intramurals, brother!
It is week 2 of college football, and I have 5 bets to help you make some money. Let's dig in. Last week, Utah had a really good first half against BYU. Real equal, not a lot. Nobody was really at the advantage. It was an even game. But in the second half, the running game gashed BYU. Every run, it seemed like they had about 5 yards after first contact. Here's a few examples of what I'm talking about.
They haven't been talking. People in this state have talked about this game since March. Here's Moss using a stiff arm and picking up. Moss on first down breaks a tackle. And Zach Moss, we told you about the yard. Nice run that time by Wilmore.
Now, here's a few examples of what Northern Illinois got to play last week.
Bowers sets himself at the 40-yard line. Good snap from center. Stays in the pocket. Pass that's popped across the middle. Huskies complete to the 40.
The defender here decided to start a tackle at the shoulder pads as the best way to bring the man down.
Cross Bowers and company take over. Handoff, quick opener up the middle. Harbison 30, 35.
And this guy is going to stick his arm out on the way by, and then there's not a linebacker or a safety to take down the tackle for another 7 yards. I'm not knocking Illinois State, but it's just not the same caliber of defense they're going to face when they meet Utah. So, first half, 12.5 points to Utah. Book it. Number 2, Hawaii. 6.5 point favorites against Oregon State. For this wager, it requires no clips, no plays from last week. It requires something that happened last year. Check this out.
Midnight Thursday, Rainbow Warrior football head coach Nick Rolovich tweeted out these pictures of Oregon State recruiting mail sent to the Queen Liliuokalani Center at UH. Now, that's a big no-no in NCAA violations, folks. Rolo joked that he was sorry his players couldn't attend the Oregon State spring game where they had been invited, as Hawaii's was on the same day last week. Now, one of the Flyers boasted of Oregon State's 203 combined years of coaching. Rolo countered that in those 203 years, none of you realized you couldn't actively recruit another school's players. Hashtag leaky dam, hashtag sloppy beavers.
So now the coach of Hawaii gets to come back at Oregon State for trying to interfere with his recruiting. I don't think he's going to let his foot off the gas pedal the whole night. Hawaii is a scoring machine. Oregon State, not so much. Hawaii will dominate Oregon State. They're going to give up a few points. There might be 110 points combined, but they will cover the 6.5 points. Number 3, Tulsa, favored by 6.5 points at San Jose State. If you're like me, preseason magazine rankings are catnip to college football. I love reading them, and I love checking out where teams get ranked. San Jose State has been living in the basement of the rankings for the last 3 years. This year is no different. They were number 118 on Athlon's list and number 120 on Lindy's list. Now, this is the Tulsa team that lost to Michigan State last week, 28-7. Tulsa has been a strong team the last couple years, and I believe they're going to cover this 6.5 point spread with ease. So, Tulsa, 6.5 points. Take it. Now, maybe I was a little harsh on San Jose State. They actually won last week. They beat Northern Colorado 35-18. According to the Massey rankings, Northern Colorado has a 226th best defense in football. How do you think that's going to react with Mike Leach's air raid offense? And that brings us to number 4. Washington State Cougars against Northern Colorado this week. Washington State's been favored by as many as 37, 36. It's fluctuated around. And this is a game that I believe Washington State is going to destroy Northern Colorado. Not because of anything other than this is an FCS team playing an FBS team. This is going to get ugly fast. Last week, Washington State beat New Mexico State 58-7. The line for that game was Washington State by 33. They completely destroyed the line. I think that's going to happen again this week. Northern Colorado lost to San Jose State. Sorry to pick on San Jose State again. However, Washington State has a top 10 offense, and they are going to put up 60-plus points in this game. Go with Washington State on this one. It's a big number. This is, call it my lock of the week. This one is flying under the radar, and I think it's going to be a winner. Now, my last pick, number 5, is so far off the radar, it is way out in left field. This is the VMI Cadets against Mars Hill. That's right, Mars Hill. They are the 103rd ranked team in Division 2. VMI is not blowing the doors off anybody. However, they are number 102 in the FCS level. They're favored by 16.5 points. I think it's going to be far greater than that. The Massey rankings are calling for an 18 to 19 point win. So, way off the radar, last pick, take the VMI Cadets to beat Mars Hill and their school with a population of 1,365 people. Thanks for watching today. This is week 2's picks. I'll be back and I'll report how we made out, and I look forward to week 3. See you then.